Hi there. A major concern that students have when deciding to pursue education abroad, especially master's education, is how to fund your education. Now, there are many ways of funding your education, ranging from getting a scholarship or an assistantship, uh, working part-time, getting a tuition waiver, or even a student loan. Now, the range of these possibilities will be covered by me in the next, two videos in this two-part series. And specifically in today's video, I'm going to talk about scholarships and fellowships. Now, let's start with scholarships. Now, scholarships are typically based on a student's academic merit, the kind of leadership potential that you display, or the financial need that you can ascertain, that you can show on your profile. And it could also depend on other criteria, such as the kind of field you wish to enter, the country that you wish to study in, and the kind of research that you wish to conduct, right? All of these criteria mixed together will determine the kind of scholarships you're eligible for, and will also determine your chances of getting through. Now, remember, there are many scholarships available across the globe. But since US is where most master's candidates target, keep in mind that there are some really prestigious options, such as the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship for specifically masters and PhD students. Also consider fellowships like the American Association of University Women International Fellowship, Aga Khan Scholarship, the J.N. Tata Endowment, also the Inlax Shivdasani Scholarship, and many others. Now, the thing that most of these scholarships have in common is that they typically will be based on a few criteria, right? And these criteria are very wide, and range from the kind of country you're targeting, the destination where you wish to study, also includes the gender that you belong to, or the kind of academic merit that you display on your profile. It also includes the field of study that you wish to pursue, and also the kind of research interests and your specific background in that particular field, whether by way of work or by way of research. And could also include your financial need, or your financial position, right? In fact, in some cases, it also includes your intent to go back and apply what you learn from the masters, and any fellowships that you could avail of, and apply all of these learnings back in your own country, right? And that could be contingent on you doing that at a specified timeline. Now, scholarships, remember, come from a vast variety of sources. I'm talking about scholarships that are given by specific governments across the globe, also private organizations, and private grants that have been created even by sometimes individuals. And it also includes not-for-profit organizations that are trying to encourage participation of individuals from particular destinations, from particular areas, and socioeconomic backgrounds, and trying to uplift them. And finally, it also includes specific universities or departments within universities, and obviously they avail of federal or state funding, state sources to provide these scholarships, right? So given that the sources of your scholarships are manifold, make sure that you visit your university and department website to see the kind of scholarships available, but also visit external sources, external websites, the kind I was talking about, such as the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship, or the Aga Khan or the J.N. Tata Memorial Fund Endowment. So these are scholarships listed on external websites, and so what matters, and what you should keep in mind, is to start this process early, because you need to be aware of the deadlines that each of these scholarships have. Now, typically scholarships that are provided by universities, they'll have deadlines close to the application deadlines, right? And in fact, some of these scholarships are usually automatically considered without having to submit a separate application, or show your inclination for that scholarship separately, right? But in other cases, you might have to choose which scholarships you feel eligible for, which scholarships you would like to apply for, and express your interest and your motivation through either an application or an essay, right? In fact, there are cases known of some scholarships not even listed on the website, and you might actually be automatically considered for that, right? So that's also something that happens. But obviously, if you're preparing early, you want to gather as much information, apply to as many scholarships where you need to showcase your intent, showcase your motivation, and get a heads up on all the people you're competing against. Well, the second, the second source of funding your master's education is actually one that I've talked about previously, which is assistantships. Now, remember, an assistantship is almost like a part-time role that you essay with either a faculty member, a professor, or a particular department in your university. Now, there are three kinds of assistantships. These are teaching assistantship, a research assistantship, or a graduate assistantship. Each of these roles are very, very different, and do watch my video on assistantships. The link should pop up in the video sometime now. But just to kind of give you a quick primer about these, a teaching assistantship is where you work with a faculty, a professor, and help him or her with delivery of lectures and classes, preparing for those classes, conducting group discussions in the class, grading assignments, and even sometimes getting feedback from students, right? So that's the host of jobs, job responsibilities that you might have. As a research assistant, you will be working with a professor in a specific lab, and your job will basically entail collecting and analyzing any data that the experiment has to do with, setting up the experiment as well, and collating those results in the form of a report, preparing a manuscript for the same, and so on and so forth. Finally, as a graduate assistant, your job will actually be with a department, or maybe even the universities, either with your own department or in a larger sense the university itself. And your job here might actually entail either helping specific faculty members with preparing for their classes, or performing general administrative duties for your department or for the university, which could also include any outreach activities that you might have to do, and so on and so forth, right? So it's a different kind of a role, and appreciating the differences between each of these assistantships can help you decide which one you would do a better job at, which one can you be more convincing, right, based on obviously your past, the kind of responsibilities you've taken on, and shown an inclination towards. Now, assistantships, even though they are part-time roles, they sometimes can either give you a partial or a full waiver of your tuition fee, right? That is known to happen. And even though it's a part-time job, it can get you as much as a minimum of about $1,500 per month to as much as $2,500 per month, and all of this depends on where your university is located, and and other factors. However, there are additional advantages. Like I said, you get a tuition waiver even if it is partial. Sometimes you even get a health insurance as part of the role that you play, right? So many reasons why you should take the assistantship seriously and apply for it. Now, how do you go about, applying for an assistantship? What exactly is the process? Well, typically, when applying for an assistantship, you might have to fill up an application, take an interview, or even write an essay about your motivation and your fit with the kind of role that you're applying for. And so, preparing for it is actually fairly straightforward. Make sure that you start early, and do proper research about the kind of roles available in the university, in the department that you seek admission in, which actually means that do write into specific professors. In fact, before you write to them, probably assess their profiles, figure out if they are linked with specific research labs. Do those labs conduct research that tie in with your background or your future interests, and basically try and figure out if you can add any real value either as a teaching assistant or as a research assistant, or maybe if there are openings for graduate assistantships, can you add value as a graduate assistant and try and ponder upon reasons why you would do well at the job. Now, all of this stage of research and introspection about why you would be a good fit for the role is important, because at the end of the day, it's not just about conducting research. It's actually about reaching out to these people. So do write in very, very formal emails to specific professors with whom your interests align, or maybe even specific departments that have openings, and tell them about your past experiences. Maybe drop in your CV as an attachment, but make sure that you clearly spell out why you're a good for the role, why you're a good fit for the role, and that needs to take into account the kind of past activities that you've done, any responsibilities that you've held, and outcomes that show you in good light. And this basically will add credibility to your application, and hopefully they're going to take you seriously when it comes to making final decisions, right? So that's the broad process. Make sure, above all, that you start early, that you be formal and utmost in all communication with faculty members or departments. And well, I think your charm and your credentials should hold you in good stead. Well, before I let you go, I do want to talk about how we can add value to your entire application process, but also specifically funding sources. Well, we have a vast network of mentors who've gone and studied at top universities across the globe, are pursuing careers, and whether professional or research careers in a diverse set of fields. And speaking to some of these mentors and explaining your context can probably help them, give you proper advice, give you advice that is practical as well as personalized to your context. And this, I'm sure, will help you make better decisions, whether it's about shortlisting the right set of schools, or about what things to say in your application that will make it stand out, that will make it appealing, and impress the admission committees. And finally, how to specifically tackle any online assessments, any personal interviews, because remember, universities and departments are looking for specific profile of people, and somebody on the inside can really give you a big advantage when it comes to acing this process, right? And Mentors Capital can help you through the entire admission process, right from the stage of preparing for a personalized test to your final interview, whether it's for admission into a program or to get funding for your master's education. Well, I hope you liked the topic of this video and the information that we gave out. Do like this video, share it with your circles, and I hope that that you will see me in my next video. In case you have any queries, or if you have any suggestions for my next few videos, do write into me, do contact me. The link is there in the description to this video. I hope to hear from you. Till then, wish you all the very best.